Everyone, Marie here from Skeins. It's been a couple of weeks since I've said g'day, so I thought I'd pop over and see how you all were. And I've got loads to tell you. We've been really busy around here the last few weeks. And, you know, it is the end of autumn, so this is the time that we are super, super busy, both in the shop and here at the mill. And there's lots going on. And first off, I wanted to thank everyone who was involved with the First Light Fibres Festival in Gisborne, which was the education event, part of the Creative Fibre annual festivities, and it was outstanding. It was so good. Thank you to everyone that popped by and visited. It was so good to meet many of you, and there were some real favourites there. Barbara, it was a joy to finally meet you in person. So thanks to everyone that came along, and to all those people. They did a wonderful, wonderful job organising the event. It was an absolute hoot. And yeah, I just can't wait. I'm really, really looking forward actually now to heading up to Woolfest in in Auckland in a couple of weeks. I was able to meet the marvellous Margaret, who organises that as well, and it was awesome because it gave me a really, really clear idea of what yarns it is that I'm going to bring. Oh, excuse me, itchy nose. And that's what I'm going to kick off with. One of the things that I'm going to bring with me, and it has just gone on to live on the website like right now, because I did it just before I came onto here, I'm so excited, is Pearl. So I've done a few little teasers around Pearl, and what Pearl is it's a brand new yarn. You may have seen the flowers that I crocheted last week. Oh, there they are, look. Woohoo! Oh, there we go. Beautiful little flowers. What Pearl is Pearl is the same construction as our org, but it is made using some premium superfine merino surplus recycled yarns that we've had across a number of ranges, and alpaca, superfine alpaca plus some silk. So it is an ultra premium blend, but spun in the same twist-on-twist construction in the orb that I know you all love. We've gone and designed the range, or when I say we, the royal we, as in, you know, Muggins here, because it's, you know, we've had Albertine, we've just had Albertine that's come out, and it's like finding colours, trying to find different stories for colours can be quite tough. And for Pearl, because it was this beautiful luster with the alpaca and the silk, and so it spoke to Pearl, and so then the colour inspiration really came from the colours of the Pacific. So you've seen the pink and the yellow and the white, but here they all are. Ignore the fact that they're in this funny little box, but it means that I could jam them all in there and hold them all up. There they all are. Oh, there we go. Look at those. And I'm going to be firing some colours out on social media, some pictures out on social media, but they're absolutely stunning. We've deliberately gone very, very heavy with the blues and greens down here at the bottom. And, you know, and it's not that we don't do a lot of blues and greens, but the blues and greens we tend to be the same sorts of stories. They tend to be either just a jade or a lime or a sagey colour, and the blues tend to be sort of a smoky blue and a navy, and maybe a pewtery light blue or something like that. There's not been a lot of interest in depth in the blues, and I am really thrilled with these. This one here is called Endeavour, so that's sort of it doesn't really show it on this camera, but it is a really lovely rich blue, and then that's more intense. That's more, I love this. This is called Galapagos, this one here. It is the richest, intensest jewel shade blue. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this bloke at the end, or lassie at the end, is called Bora Bora. Lots of that green cropping up this winter in ranges. And then up here, this is gardenia. So this is the natural colour of the yarn. So this is beautiful, beautiful, literally a white pearl. It's stunning. Argent in the middle, which is the silver, and this is my favourite over here. This is called Cream Rose. Now, Cream Rose is actually a colour with a colour grading for pearls. So, and I love it. It is a warm pink toned cream, but without being pink, and it's just a bit cream. It really is stunning, and it goes splendidly well with tiare, with the bougainvillea, and we've also popped a black in there as well for contrast. So do have a look for the colours that are coming out in social media. with some, I've actually pulled out some of my costume pearls, and they will be coming out as well. So that is now live. Pearl, it's called, and it's up to $6.95 a ball. So when you consider the fibre content that is in there, premium superfine merino, alpaca, and silk, $6.95 a ball is an absolute steal. Claire has knitted a wee project in this, and I'll actually pull it. It's a wee kid's hat, so I'll pop it on. There you go. Look at that. Oh, fabulous. Now this wee hat is called Hannah. And that's in the shop if you're going to be into the shop. And I'm going to put mine back on because they're having a bad hair day. It's Monday, bad hair day on Mondays. So we have got that project knitted, and we also have a project being knitted full size, and that is going to be in the shop very soon, and we'll take photos of that once that comes in as well. So Pearl is up, Pearl is live. Really exciting. Now speaking of this, Hannah by Georgie Hallam, Georgie Nicholson. Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Sorry, George. AKA Tiki Nuts. Now, many of you have been posting furiously over on the Speakeasy. If you're not aware, it is May, which means it's Milo May. Now, before you go rushing off for big cans of chocolatey drinks, what Milo May is a big knit along for Georgie's most famous pattern, which is called Milo, which is a little square-shaped vest. And the beautiful thing about Milo is that it is a vest that can be, you can do anything with it. Like, she has designed it with a simple cable, but loads of people are doing some really incredible colour work, which I'm loving seeing, and they're using up scraps from the sale and all sorts of things. So in terms of the knit along over on the Speakeasy, we're going to continue with something beginning with C to the end of the month, and then also in conjunction Milo May, because if you're doing Milo May, I really want you to get behind it. If you're using some skeins yarn in there, definitely post it on the Speakeasy. If you're doing non-skeins yarn, jump over to Georgie's Tiki Knit site on Ravelry, join the fun over there. It's really active, lots going on, and make sure you post stuff over there as well for all the activities and prizes and bits and pieces for Milo May. Then coming up for June, which is in a couple of weeks' time, so kicking off for our June knit along, we decided we're going to call it Hatitude. Not attitude, but Hatitude. And it is going to be all about hats. Everything that you can stick on your head is what we want to see. So there's been some really gorgeous hats come through with something beginning with C. So whether it be kids' hats, adults' hats, babies' hats, hats for husbands, hats for girlfriends, hats for children, we want to see them. This one here is called Stacks by Karina Spencer, and this is actually knitted in the burlesque that we used to have, but this is a great hat, looks fantastic in a DK and or 10-ply yarn, and in fact this hat will look absolutely stunning in that brand new pearl yarn. So we want to see your hats. There's plenty out there to choose from, and as the time goes by, if I can get the other Albertine projects finished and all the rest of it, we will get some hats up there for you to choose from. The Harding Road hat, which was one that I launched last year, that's a free pattern. It's written both in the flat and in the round. It's got a little bit of stranded sort of slip stitch mosaic colour work that runs through it. That hat's fantastic for using up scrappy bits and pieces. It's nice and quick, and it's free, because that's me, I just give all my patterns away. So I'm all about the paying it forward when it comes to patterns. Right, so that's all the news portion of today's bulletin over. No, it's not actually. I'm telling a big porky poo. Sale page. I have Claire's been in, and she's been moving things around. She's getting the pearl out into the shop as we speak. And to do that, she's moved the remaining urban that was left off the shelf. So there's 5 colours left, which are Fruju, Play Green, Cream, White and Black. They are now just $2.95 more. So they've been moved to the top of the sale page. So when you jump onto the sale page, they will be easy to find. And we are literally now down to the rats and mice of that. So $2.95 a ball for all the remaining urban. So head over and stock up on that, particularly for charity knitting. That's some, you know, it's awesome buying. So 100% machine washable in New Zealand yarn. Okay, right, that's that news. And also on the sale page as well, the discontinued colour called Sunset, which is in the Heritage Organic Merino, that has now been dropped to $5.95 a board, which is this beautiful, gorgeous sunset orange, which I adore. But obviously people don't share my love of the orange, but that is there, so do pick it up. Right, now I've got the news portion of everything out of the way. And I wanted to talk about, I put in the teas there, cats and nuts don't mix. I had an interesting thing over the weekend. Husband was away working, so it was me and the boys to myself, and it was really lovely, you know, like did lots of those jobs. Well, firstly, I've lost my knitting mojo. It will come back, I promise, but I've barely knit a stitch in a week. I'm just sort of a bit over it at the minute. However, one of the things I did was I thought, I like, don't laugh at me, dipilling. Most people hate it. I get stuff together and I think, right, I'm going to get these out and give minutes a bit of a zhuzh up. Now, I don't know about you, but we have, many of you know that I have a couple of dogs, and I also have a very geriatric cat. And this cat, she's adorable, but she's 16 and she's a British short hair, so she sheds like nobody's business. She's cream, so it means that everything she goes near, she leaves this cloud of cream fur everywhere. And, you know, she's heading towards the demented side of her feline life. And this cardigan here, I'll just whip this off. And before you ask what is the yarn in this, it's homespun. So get that out of your thoughts right now, people. You're not going to be getting that from us. It's homespun. Right, this is, I'm going to stand up. There you go. Right, we're going to turn around to here, and you're probably not going to be able to see it, but on the back here, right through this entire back portion here, and you can sort of, oh, look at that fabulous behind, people. That's called an arse, as Paul Henry used to say. Right, okay, so that part back there, that whole back section, I left this cardigan on the bed one day. Cat, 2 and 2 together. The problem is when you're an older feline, like my darling, dear darling is, she got on there and she's, by the time I went in, a carpet of cream fur all over this, and it looked like a hooked rug, shag pile hooked carpet. It was horrific. I was devastated because this cardigan, this is called Crea, which is from the Zolder Teague. And this cardigan holds a very, very dear place in my heart because up until that point, I'd knitted several things for myself and I'd never been 100% happy with them. So often you knit stuff, and particularly when you're a woman of size, as my good friend Lara tells me, a woman of size, I quite like that. You want, you know, you're a bit self-conscious and you want to make sure things look good. And I had bought the book Little Red in the City, and I'd seen some of the patterns, and I'd been overseas, and Amanda, who's the model who features on the front cover of that book, who's a beautiful woman, bigger girl, I actually met when I was in the US. And so I just instantly fell in love with her, and she was wearing the Crea, and she was wearing this beautiful pattern, and I thought to myself, I've got to get this book. The whole front segment of this book is around taking good, accurate measurements to get your sizing right. She really has put a huge front portion in that sizing area. And so I sat down and had a good look at that, and I thought, oh, this is really making a huge amount of sense. And for me, that was a huge light bulb moment. Now, I've been knitting, like many of you, for a long, long time. I read that, and it was honestly, it was like fireworks going off. It's like, wow, I've been doing this wrong all these years. This is why I'm not getting the result that I want. So that was a real huge moment for me. So then, of course, I knitted Crea, which is from that book. And it was the first time I've ever knitted something in a large-scale project, and it fit perfectly, and I absolutely loved it. And this yarn is actually Merino Soft, and it was in a colour called Barney Purple, which was discontinued several years ago, but this is in Merino Soft. The tension in the pattern was 24 stitches to 10 centimetres. So I chose to do it in the 4-ply Merino Soft because that's, I swatched and swatched, and that's what I got tension to. Our Orb DK, I think, would get you that tension because it is the finer end of DK, but it is just a wonderful pattern, and she's written it really cleverly in terms of the shoulder shaping, so you get this really beautiful inset fitted shoulder. And I love this. So, of course, when this was left on said bed for said feline to said masticate, I was a little bit upset. And so I folded it up, threw it in the bottom drawer, and thought I just had to have a moment. So it's been there since nearly a year. So over the weekend, I pulled it out. And I looked at it and I thought, I'm going to resurrect you. So out it came, and the first thing I did was get the sticky roller out and felinify all the fur off it, which actually, those sticky rollers are the best thing ever. Went through a lot of sticky roller, but we got rid of all of it. So that was number one. It was thing number one. Thing number two was then actually having to get rid of all the little hooky pulls. So needless to say, me, a cable needle, in an hour managed to get them all poked through. And I'll see if I can find it on the side to show you. I don't know whether it's probably not going to fit, but you can see, oh, there we go. You can see there lots of the insides. Ooh, other way. Gosh, it's like looking in the mirror of this thing. There you go. You can see all the lots of the hooks and stuff in there. That's some of them. Some of them I've managed to actually weave back in. So we got all that done. Then it needed a bit of a depill. So back to this depilling. Loads of people, depilling honestly is a bit like a dirty word. I have a lot of people saying, oh, does that yarn pill? Okay, the first thing I'm going to put out there, all yarn pills, people. It just pills in different degrees. It's not the end of the world. Pilling is a natural state of yarn and knitting and so having something handmade. Depilling is an illegal thing. So this is what you need to do. There's several ways you can depill. I've done the disposable razor. That works quite well. Sweater stone, which looks like a bit of block of pumice. That works really, really well on yarns, rustic yarns like Southlander or traditional Aran or things like that. Just picks those things up and they slough off away to never be seen again. They're fantastic. Vintage Pearl stocks those if you want to get some of them. This is my personal favourite here. I know what you're thinking. Get your mind out of the gutter. We call this is lovingly known around here as Buzz Buzz. We love Buzz Buzz. And we like this one because we do sell other smaller ones which are brilliant for baby knits and things, but this is the one we really love. And we like it because it's a very smooth here, nice big interface for catching all of those pills. Briscoes. Sell these. And, you know, don't pay full price, people. They're about $21, $22 full price. Honestly, I've always bought them on a sale and never paid more than $16 for them. They take a couple of AA batteries. The AA batteries last a surprisingly good length of time. And this interface here is pretty good. Now, you don't want to be having hooks and snails and running it over because you will be chopping your yarn and you do run into the risk of pulling it. So do make sure that they are all tucked away. But in terms of pills, honestly, this thing is fantastic. And why I love it is that I can sit down with something that I absolutely adore and I love to wear. And hey, if she needs a bit of a zhuzh up, out comes Buzz Buzz and away we go. So definitely invest in one of these. I've talked about these before in the past in the old blog. Honestly, if you make one purchase this winter, I think that's the purchase you need to make. So it really, really is fantastic. So the moral of this story Just don't leave your hair knits out on the bed where your geriatric cat can sleep on them, because it just, you know, creates lots of work later on. So that's my story about yarn pulling and pussy cats. And that's pretty much it in other news. We've got loads of stuff happening. So Pearl is definitely up and happening. So do make sure you check that out. Do also, if you're going to Woolfest, I'm going to be there with Pearl. So you'll be able to see it, squish it, touch it, caress it, and corral it. It will be fabulous. I'm also taking Orb, both DK and Fine. I'm taking Silver Lining Lumiere, which is the finer version of Silver Lining, and I am taking Outlaw Bohemia worsted with me. And the reason for that is because in the stand right next door to me is the lovely Deb from Outlaw Yarn, and she will have her brand new Bohemia worsted Gothic. Who did he first? I'm not going to show you because you're not allowed to see it. It's a big surprise, like it's a huge surprise. So you have to come to see Deb's, and so she's going to have the new colours and the new range, and I'm going to have the other worsted yarn. So they're all going to talk and mingle and do happy things. So do definitely check that out. But in the meantime, have a most excellent day. Get those posts up on the speakeasy, and hopefully I'll talk again soon. And with any luck, I'll actually start giving some stuff away on Thursday. I'm a bit slack actually. I might jump into the speakeasy and do a wee bit in there and give some stuff away if there's something we're beginning to see. Ooh, should I give some Pearl away? There's an idea. All right, till Thursday. Talk to you then, and stay warm and dry. It's a bit air out there. All right, bye.